Hello and welcome to Arkansas Style. I am your host, Nicole Neiman. Now, I've asked Jim Englehorn with Sissy's Log Cabin to come back and help take care of the men who follow our show with a selection of timepieces. And Brandon Brimley, aka Chef Too Much Sauce, will join us later to tell us about his upcoming event, cuisine and cocktails, and even show us how to beautifully plate your holiday dishes. Our resident relationship counselor, Charlie Simpson, is back on the couch. I can't wait for you to hear the fun activity we've come up with you to keep your relationship fresh. But before we get into all of that, let's get back to Jim with Sissy's. Jim, I mean, I don't know whether I like you or the jewelry better.
I'll go with the jewelry because, you know, I just come to know that after these many years.
And I probably can't afford you. I probably can't afford the jewelry. I always like to have a little fun with you, too.
You know.
But I do, of course, appreciate you being here. And you know, jewelry is second to fashion, only because fashion I can afford a little bit more. But I appreciate the investment that you are doing when you buy luxury jewelry, okay?
That's the whole concept of what the upper end jewelry climate is like, is that the idea is that you spend a lot of money and you want it to be an investment, not an expense.
Oh.
And so often you buy a piece of jewelry that's not well constructed. Timepieces, I say this, that back in the day when I used to see very inexpensive watches go out, I'm like, you really might want to save your money and go to a luxury timepiece because the cost of ownership in these are just so much higher. So the pieces I bought today have very, very little cost of ownership. So.
Nice, yeah, and they are an investment. And of course, I always ask you to bring me the best, which you have not failed to do. Can we start with what's on your wrist? Because we know you don't buy anything but the very best.
Well, you know, I've been a jeweler for 40 years, so
okay.
I'm very fortunate. That's a Rolex GMT. Great piece. This watch is actually retired, so this would only be available in a pre-owned market, pre-owned situation, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And then, behold the power of the Rhino.
Uh-huh. All right, wait, get back to the watch. Hold on, there's way more to talk about that. So what am I looking at here exactly? It's a stainless steel construction, Rolex,
yes.
Black dial.
Yes.
What's the face?
This is a GMT. So the model you'll see in the Rolex, it's a 24-hour bezel. So this was known as a pilot's watch. So this will accomplish a dual time zone at the same time you have it. So if you travel, this is a good watch for you to have.
Wait, what did you just say? I didn't understand one word. This is a pilot's watch, and it can keep track 24 hours?
Initially, this watch was initialized as a pilot's timepiece.
Okay.
They call it the Cosmopolitan watch, but you can actually have two. It's got a hand that you can keep track of dual time zone.
Oh, okay. Does this rotate too? This bezel?
Yep.
Okay, and why do you have the rotating bezel? What's the purpose of that?
That allows you a third function that actually does travel with the time elapsed in your travel. So there's, this pretty versatile guy.
Very cool. Okay, so we can talk about your cufflink now if you want. The Rhino. All right, what's the symbolism behind that? Boy,
well,
he looks heavy and quite sturdy.
I love rhinos. I just love rhinos. They're a cool, majestic animal. Obviously, that they're nearly extinct in a lot of cases. So I had these made for me many years ago.
Oh, they're custom.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So they're a lot of fun.
Oh, fantastic. So I have an appreciation for men when you wear a little bit of jewelry. Some men are opposed to wearing jewelry, but they're not opposed to wearing a nice watch, okay?
Exactly.
So Rolex is the top of the top of the top, the creme de la creme, right? So we've seen your pilot's watch. You also brought us a couple of other pieces
sure.
from Rolex. Tell me what we're looking at here, would you?
Well, these are all vintage pieces as well. This is a retired model. This is a Rolex GMT 1675. This is probably the rarest timepiece in the state of Arkansas right now, other than those that might have a private collection. This watch was a barn find from 1962.
Okay.
We had it fully restored. It's a very rare piece. There's probably about 200 of them in existence. It's only $27,000.
Okay, but you also called it the Pepsi watch too, right?
It's lovingly called Pepsi because of the blue-red bezel.
Okay, so. Very cute. All right, so for just a cool 27, ain't no big thing. The person who won the $1 million in Sherwood, give him a call.
We're hunting him down. We're hunting him down.
Jim, I mean, this is a heavy timepiece. What's going on here?
That is an all 18 karat Rolex ladies Cellini. That's also a retired model. A diamond bezel, diamond dial, pretty cool piece. And there's a diamond bezel, diamond dial Rolex, all 18 karat gold that you can buy for under $15,000, which is unheard of in anything that would be a new product. So great watch, great watch.
Oh, okay, I think that'll be my size too. Okay, one more Rolex to check out here.
That's actually a Cartier.
This is a Cartier?
Yes.
Look at that.
So
okay.
we don't
Tell our friends at home what Cartier is.
Well, Cartier is long known as one of the premier provenance jewelers in the world. This is one of their timepieces. We don't actually carry them. We do carry them in our Memphis store shortly.
Okay.
But this is a great piece that we have in Little Rock that you could come by and pick up.
Okay, tell the friends at home, Cartier, who do they design jewelry for over across the pond?
But well,
The royalty,
well,
the kings and queens and their crowns.
well, clearly. You probably stuck the jeweler in one.
You know, I mean, I pretend to be one every once in a while. Okay, so that is so much fun. Museum type pieces, really cool to look at. Now here is the sister collection, which is really something that you're proud of at Sissy's. Tell us about the Tudor.
So Tudor is Rolex's sister company. They're both Rolex and Tudor are owned by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. Hans Wilsdorf is the founder of Rolex. He was an orphan and had no children, and so he didn't want his company to ever be run by stockholders. So Rolex is actually owned by a non-for-profit charitable trust. And so Tudor is a sister company under the brand. These are all very rare, very hard to get timepieces. They're highly sought after. They're available in Little Rock. Great collection here. They also make a GMT with the blue red, so it's lovingly called Pepsi as well.
Okay.
This is a wild technology right here. This is actually a sterling silver alloy that is made by Rolex that will not tarnish.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Could they make my silver at home for that too? So it doesn't tarnish. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we have other things to get to, which we will, but tell me one thing. What makes Tudor and Rolex so special? Why is this a brand we know?
Well, what makes them so special is, first of all, people want what they can't have. These are not mass-produced timepieces. You know, there's a lot of, you asked me earlier about the difference between Japanese and Swiss. Swiss companies are generally vertically integrated for the most part. Rolex and Tudor are 100% vertically integrated. They make everything themselves. The only thing that goes onto their campus is raw materials. Whereas most other watchmakers have other people outsource and make parts for them, and then they assemble them. And then overseas in the Chinese and Japanese market, they come from several different factories and made, and so the value all there is basically in the hodgepodge of ingredients made. You know, several of these watchmakers over there will make millions of timepieces per year, when Rolex was.
So we're really basically talking about quality control at the highest level.
100%.
Plus, you love the brand. All right, listen, when we come back, though, I have also asked Jim to bring some watches for our young professionals, some kind of edgy, cool, you know, get out there and get your hands dirty type watches. And we're going to talk a little bit about some cufflinks as well. So stay with us. You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Now, Jim is still here with us to talk more about some of these amazing timepieces, as well as some cufflinks they sell at Sissy's Log Cabin. All right, Jim, so during the break, we did a little switch out here, and what I want to focus on is the young professional, you know,
Exactly.
the rough and tumble guy who doesn't need something so delicate and fancy. What do you have for him?
Well, you know, these watches are luxury timepieces, and that's not necessarily how that all starts. I mean, I remember my first watch was $25, a long time ago.
Okay.
And so we have watches for everyone. We want to make sure that they're able to wear something that is durable. I brought some pieces from Luminox, is what a lot of us have for backup watches. When we're in the store, we have to wear the big brand. But these are watches that start at $195 and go to about $900. They're great. They're water resistant. They're really shock resistant. A lot of guys wear these during duck season, which we're in right now. So.
Oh, okay. And so tell me the difference. What I'm noticing is the straps in particular. So you've got metal straps here, you've got some rubber straps, and then you've got a nylon strap.
Right.
Is that just personal preference, or does that impact the value of the watch?
It sure does. I mean, we even have titanium here, which I kind of brought there because that's kind of a space age to a degree. But steel is going to be a more expensive model.
Okay.
Rubber is kind of nice because they can switch them out if they get a little bit messed up. The NATO strap that you had here, that fabric, that can actually be washed. You can throw it in a dishwasher and it'll come clean. So a lot of fun.
I want to do that, but okay. If you say so, Jim, I'll throw it in the dishwasher. Okay, so this is the titanium model. Super cool green face on that dial there.
Yeah, that's a Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer, we're one of the, it's a Swiss watch that we also carry in most of our stores. Tag Heuer is a long-term Swiss brand. Very, very hardy. That watch is a titanium. It's nice because that would be a very heavy watch. The guys that are worried about comfort, because it's titanium, it's very, very light, but it's also really durable.
Okay, so you mentioned Swiss watch. I hear that when you talk about timepieces a lot, between Swiss made, automatic, yada yada. I don't know a thing about that. Could you help me understand what that means?
Well, sure. So the Swiss have a generational background in watchmaking. It goes back hundreds of years in Switzerland. They started from clocks and then moved to timepieces for the wrist. And they really, really have, it's a cultural heritage in Switzerland to be the very best at watchmaking. And so that translates to almost all the Swiss brands, and that's why we only carry Swiss. We just have a better track record. It pairs better with our brand because we want to be about a watch that's serviceable, lasts forever, accuracy, long-term quality. See, a big difference here is that several of these watches are quartz, which are battery operated. So it's a little bit more of an electronics, whereas the Rolex and the Cartier and the Tudors are an automatic watch. They run on you, whereas these other watches run on a battery. It's a less expensive technology as well, but it's really, really accurate. So it's nice for the young guy.
So it's automatic versus quartz, did you say?
Quartz.
Quartz. Okay, so those are the two different. Those are the two different movements. And
there's mechanicals too, which is a wind up where you actually physically have to wind it.
Okay.
But we don't see a lot of those anymore.
Okay, and a quartz, does that require a battery, or that just is just based? Oh, it does.
It does.
Okay, but it operates on your motion as well.
No, that's an echo technology you may have heard of, and there's some they're kind of a hybrid. The quartz watch is a battery-operated watch. If you buy a watch from Sissy's Log Cabin, we never charge you. We have a lifetime battery. So you buy a watch from us, we replace it for no charge for the lifetime. So they run for a couple years, and then they need to be switched out.
Okay. See, and that's the beauty of buying through you, Jim, honestly, is that when you go into Sissy's Log Cabin, you know you've got people standing behind the product, which, if you buy something online, you don't know where that's coming from, and you don't know how to talk to somebody if something goes wrong. So I really appreciate, what your brand does, for people who are going to buy this type of investment. Okay, so with that said, let's get to the glitz and glamour. So men, again, for those of you who don't like wearing jewelry, I mean, if you saw us yesterday with our British guy over in Harrogate, England, these French cuffs are really good looking pieces. And so I would recommend that you pick yourself up a French cuff shirt and then get yourself a good looking cufflink to go with it.
Great tailors in Little Rock. I mean, there's some great people around Little Rock to buy your French cuff shirts from. I wear a lot of them.
Right.
It's a nice extra little touch, an extra little statement. I mean, we're not dressing up necessarily the way we used to. I don't wear a tie nearly as much as I do, but I can still wear a French cuff shirt all the time and dress it up.
Yeah, for
there you
sure.
Go.
Yeah. And then, for your men who really have been good boys this year, get them a little bling, huh?
If you got a little bling, that's fantastic. That's yellow and white gold mixed with some diamonds. You can't go wrong with that.
It's good looking and lightweight and very comfortable to wear, I'm sure.
Well, sure. Wear it next to your watch.
Exactly. Well, Jim, as always, it's just such a treat to learn, about jewelry through your eyes and your expertise in all your years of being in the business. I appreciate you being here, and for those of you who are at home, connect with Jim because he's very passionate about his business, and you can feel really confident in a purchase from Sissy's Log Cabin, knowing that you're really getting the very best quality, and you've got the people behind it protecting your investment. Jim, have a happy holiday.
Same to you. Thank you.
Okay. You'll come back again, I hope.
Anytime you ask.
Okay, love it. All right, now have you heard of Chef Too Much Sauce? Well, Chef Brandon Brimley, the man behind this legendary name, is here to give us the scoop on his cuisine and cocktails event this Friday. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. A dish that tastes as amazing as it looks is a chef's ultimate goal. An executive chef and certified mixologist, Brandon Brimley, has it down to a science. He is here to tell us about his upcoming event, Cuisine and Cocktails, and give us a lesson on how to turn food into art. Well, Chef, too much sauce.
Yes. Hi,
I was trying to figure out how to say that properly. Is it like Chef too much sauce? Chef too much sauce?
I mean, you can go Chef too much sauce, or
ooh, I like that one.
There we go.
Too much sauce with a little dip.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, where did that name come from?
So it originally started as Chef Brim, and the more gigs that I did, this one guy, one of my good friends, Tremaine Chavis, he was like, man, you just got so much sauce, man. He was just like, you chef too much sauce. He was just like, man, it literally took about 6 months for me to embrace that name before actually rolling with it. So that's how.
See, you have such a sweet story behind it, too.
Yeah.
And the dip. Too much sauce.
It's too much sauce.
I got to get cooler. I'm so not cool.
Oh, you're already cool.
Okay. All right. So, Brandon, what did you bring for us today?
So we have a crab manicotti today.
Ooh.
Crab manicotti is basically crab stuffed in a manicotti shell.
Okay, all right.
Which consists of peppers, bell peppers, cheese, sour cream, cream cheese, a little egg for a tightening binding agent, and some spices. I use a little lemon juice because I always use lemon with my seafood. You can't go wrong.
Okay, so the only thing that tricks me here of the ingredients is where do you find this delicious looking crab?
Well, fresh in the ocean. I go no, I'm kidding. No, I shop in local markets.
Okay.
They have them in cans. They're fairly expensive, but I rather go for a finer quality and then imitate it.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so let's get going on your crab manicotti. And while you're doing this, would you share with me, I read you're a personal chef, you're a certified mixologist. I mean, your resume is really incredible.
Thank you so much.
Tell me a little bit about your background.
So it all started with a lost child not knowing what he wanted to do.
Aww.
And we just, I started college and I was introduced to the culinary director. And fell in love with the culinary arts since. Started my own catering business in 2013 and haven't looked back since.
Okay.
I've done a lot of banquets, I've done a lot of caterings, a lot of concerts, and it's been rewarding and I'm having a great time doing it.
Isn't that wonderful how one person can change the trajectory of your life? And then you've got your gift that you're sharing with the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
I think sharing cooking and food is a gift that you're giving to other people.
Absolutely. It's the one thing that is never going anywhere and the one necessity that us as people need, don't you think?
Yeah, well, and I feel like it's a way of expressing love too.
Absolutely,
right?
Through the soul and love. You see that love right there?
I do. I know. I see the little touch. So you're a personal chef or a private chef. You do concerts. You do catering. Do you have a favorite of what you like to do?
The more private, intimate gigs because it allows me to be more personable with my clientele. I mean, of course, I like to serve a mass amount of people, but I think the experience is what is the main attraction for me.
Okay.
It's the cherry on top.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've done so far, you've got cream cheese, sour cream, you've got pepper jack blend, you put some spices. What was that?
Some spices. See, that's the secret too much sauce recipe.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I can't give y'all that. If I gave y'all the recipe, y'all not gonna have me up here no more.
Okay, well now, so you can't totally copy this at home. You gotta call Chef Too Much Sauce to come cater your next party for this little dealio.
There we go.
Now look at this, a piping bag you're gonna use.
So this
That's
is
smart.
Yeah, this is the easiest way that I found to incorporate my manicotti into these shells. Or if you don't have these piping bags, you can just go get you a Ziploc bag at home and cut a slit into it. So what I'm gonna do is just, let's put that right here. My opposite hand. We just squeeze that into there.
Okay.
And it fills up. Okay, well see, since my cream cheese isn't one to
All right, we'll get the idea.
I tell you what, we're gonna do this. But yes, after you stuck it in, you put some mozzarella on top of it if you'd like.
Okay.
Or you can put some.
Look at that goodness.
Here we go. Improvise.
Look at this. Creative chef.
So, and then we just slide it right up in there.
Okay.
All right, now that's stuffed.
Yes.
Now what we're going to do is, I have to take these gloves off because it's getting messy over here.
No sweat. You do you.
And then we're just gonna put a little, see, I typically like to make my own sauce.
Uh-huh.
Did you catch that? And also.
It's funny, you've disguised it in a jar that you get at the grocery store.
Right.
But it is TV.
And I also use fresh basil on top just for the garnish. And if you like, for the cheese lovers, you can put extra Parmesan cheese on top.
Okay.
And voila.
Oh, and voila is exactly right. Look at that. See, and
Yum,
not too
yum.
much sauce.
Not too much. Not
Okay.
too much.
So now, Brandon, you have a
Yes.
special event coming up.
Yes, I do. I do
Tell
have
me.
so it's called the Cuisine and Cocktails. It's actually where you satisfy your taste buds with the best of both worlds, the cuisine aspect and also the cocktails aspect. I recently became a bartender about 2.5 years ago, so I wanted to incorporate the wine and spirits aspect into the to the food, excuse me, because I know it so well.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, you got to eat and you got to drink.
You
I
gotta
think.
drink. Absolutely. The more the merrier.
Well, Brandon, I love your personality,
Thank you
and I
so
think
much.
just having you around as
Thank
a
you.
chef, I mean, wouldn't
Thank
you
you.
love to invite him
Thank
into
you.
your home and have him cook for your next party?
Sure.
Yeah, give you a ring, right?
Thank
All right,
you.
so don't go anywhere. Rob Armstrong will be here when we return to get us all set for Hump Day Happy Hour. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Mixologist and Cypress social bar manager Rob Armstrong joins us now to get our Hump Day Happy Hour off to another great start with a rosemary pear Collins. Okay, Rob, well, how are things going at Cypress Social?
We are so busy right now. We're gearing up for the holiday season, so we're getting a lot of last minute girls' night out, exchange gifts,
Okay.
a lot of last minute office parties. So it's been really, really great, and it's ramping up and busier every night.
Oh, good. I love to hear that. Is there a special night that you do things, or
Well,
just?
a big hit is our Tuesday night Buck-a-Shuck night. So you'll walk in there on a Tuesday night and the bar is slammed. You'll think it's Friday.
Okay.
And that's because we do dollar oysters every Tuesday. So you can get them in 6 or a dozen, $1 per raw oyster.
Okay, where do the oysters come from?
Well, right now they're coming from Texas. The chef only accepts the best quality. If they're not top notch, we're not dealing with it.
Okay.
So-
Oh, I love raw oysters, can I tell you?
Yeah.
And I love watching when they shuck them. I think that's a real craft, you
Yeah,
know?
at certain times on a Tuesday, we'll have 4 people shucking as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And it still might take 7 to 10 minutes to get your order out.
Very nice.
But they're working on it.
Okay, good. So I can come and do Tuesday night shuck and what's it called?
It's called Buck-a-Shuck.
Buck-a-Shuck.
1 buck for 1 shucked oyster.
Okay, and then I'm going to get a pear rosemary cocktail to go with it.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I can't wait.
So this is part of our winter fall menu. I'm really excited about it. We have a lot of good things. We have a fire pit margarita that's going to incorporate mezcal and black sea salt. We also have our version of our espresso martini. It's called the Delta Grind Martini. So yeah, there's caffeine in it. It is strong, and it's also going to have chocolate vodka incorporated as well.
A Delta grind?
Yeah, so the first
Never heard of that.
The first job I ever got as a drink maker, I was 20. I couldn't legally be behind the bar, so I was a barista. And there was a mom and pop coffee shop that I worked at called the Delta Grind in the Mississippi Delta. So I thought it was a little ode to them to thank them for giving me a job when I was first starting. So, and espresso martinis are so popular right now. So
Okay, and a martini you make with vodka, right?
yeah.
Okay, all right, got it.
But today we're going to do the rosemary pear Collins.
Okay, good, which is gin, which I like
Yeah.
even better.
So a lot of people think they don't like gin, and that's because their
What?
first gin
Who are they?
is an old world gin, and it wasn't high quality, and they were in college. But I always try to encourage people to go back to gin and try it again, because
Yes.
the New World or Western gin is going to be less juniper. It's not going to be as abrasive. It's not going to be a bouquet of flowers right in your face punching you. So we're going to use from Alex Castle, who is a female distiller of Old Dominic. We're going to use their gin today.
Okay, good. All right, girl power.
So if you want to give that a smell, you'll notice
Oh,
that
you
they're-
know, oh, Rob, you
tell me- you
know
tell
me
me what you
so
smell.
well. You know I love to smell these things before you pour them in. Well, I smell gin for sure. you know, so that's the juniper berry in it. But you're right, it's not overly pungent. Like I'm not taken back by a bouquet of flowers, as you mentioned. But it does smell like gin, and I do like gin.
So everything that
and gin likes me.
Gin likes you? It's a mutual friendship
Love
that we're
affair.
building here. So if you want to go ahead and toss that into our mixing tin.
Sure. Oh, look at how pretty. Even just that. Okay.
All right, so next up we're going to use fresh lime juice once again.
Lime juice.
Do you want to use fresh?
Okay.
The stuff in the little jug ain't gonna
How do
ain't
you
gonna cut
get
it.
so much juice? I mean, honestly, you've got to buy hundreds of limes.
We actually have prep shifts at Cypress Social. Today is my prep day, so I'll go in and I'll juice about 8 cases of citrus, and that'll get us through 2 days. You don't want to juice too much because then it'll get old and won't be as bright and acidic. So.
Okay.
All right, so the next
But
ingredient.
for when fresh will only do. Love it.
And so the next ingredient is this is something I would encourage you to make at your house.
Oh.
And I would encourage you to make it with your friends, because even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, you still have the memory of making something with a family member, and that's so important. And if it bombs, who cares? It's still a fun experience.
Yeah.
So what I do is I take pears, I chop those up, I put them in a blender, and I blend it up to make like a puree.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cook that on the stove with brown sugar. And then I add rosemary. You want to cook the rosemary. You see here how it's going to be kind of a bright green color. You want to cook that until it's brown. That's when you know all of the extraction of the rosemary has gotten into your syrup.
Okay.
And then you strain it all out, and this is what you come up with.
Really? Pear,
Rosemary,
sugar, and
brown
rosemary.
sugar. Yeah.
Brown sugar.
Oh,
Okay.
one more ingredient. You want to take ginger root and go ahead and blend that up with your pears, and that'll give it a nice citrus pop. A little bit of spice, like a baking spice to it.
Okay, so I'm not a doctor, but I do play one on TV occasionally, and I would say this drink is very healthy.
Yes, here's to your health.
Here's to your health.
Happy
All right,
hump day, right?
let me smell that little deal, huh? Look at the pretty color for fall, too. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not smelling one particular thing. It's a blend of what you're saying. It's the pears and the rosemary. Yeah, okay, nice. It doesn't smell too sweet either.
Right on.
Ooh, how pretty.
And the reason this drink works is you're going to get this juniper, which is very mild on the coriander, but well balanced, and that's going to tie in with the rosemary. It's going to taste a little bit like a Christmas tree.
Okay. Not opposed, not opposed.
So we've become friends. I've been on the show a couple of times. I normally shake it up.
Yeah.
You think you want to shake it up for us?
No, thank you.
Not
No,
today?
No,
All right.
that's a
shake, I'm
disaster
gonna
waiting
wiggle,
to happen. How's our girl Susie Long?
She's good. She's shaking it too.
Okay. Remind the friends at home what Susie does for
So
y'all.
Susie Long is our wine director. She's going to work at Petite and Keat and Cypress Social, and she is constantly creating different wine dinners, different pairings, things like that.
Nice.
She stays busy, but she does more than that. She also helps with the seating arrangements for banquets. She helps with our catering department. She's all over the place. She's a kill-all.
Nice. Well, and that keeps her busy. Okay, now what happens?
All right, I'm going to try to strain this old school style. Don't have my Hawthorne strainer with me.
Okay, all right. Did I just put my mouth under there?
Sure.
All right, pretty. It looks like lemonade.
But if we drink it like this, it's going to be too condensed.
Okay.
We need to expand the flavors,
Okay.
and oftentimes you can do that with club soda, but I'm going to use ginger beer to kind of tie in the ginger that's in the pear syrup
Okay, bring the bubbly.
with, let me give it a little roll first.
Okay. Now, does ginger beer have alcohol in it?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
The official answer is I don't know, because there are different products. Some are hard ginger beer,
Okay.
but usually no. It's normally a non-alcoholic, but you could probably find some that is spiked, but
Okay.
general rule, no.
Well, thanks for coming in, Rob.
Absolutely.
I hate to drink alone, but if I must,
I want to
will.
watch you, because this is going to be really good. I already know. Just to toot my own horn.
Yeah, yeah.
Did it work?
It's good. It's like it's really zesty.
Yeah.
You know, a ton of flavor.
That's a good drink right
what's it?
there.
Is that your magic wand, your pointer?
Yeah.
All right, doll. Well, you'll come back again, I hope, and say hi to Susie for
I
me.
cannot wait to come back.
Rosemary Pear Collins. We've still got more show to come, and when we return, Heather and I will head to Cotham's in the city. A hubcap burger was no match for me. Stick around. You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
This segment is sponsored by AY Magazine. Now, welcome back to Arkansas Style. I was introduced to another new Arkansas delicacy, a hubcap burger. Size really is everything here. Take a look. Continuing on our journey to find the best comfort food around the area. Where have you taken us to now, Heather?
So this is Cawthon's in the city. This is iconic for like the vegetable place, the chicken fried chicken. I mean, they have giant hubcap burgers. That's definitely comfort food, right?
I've never heard of a hubcap burger.
Oh, here we go. Let's go eat. Nicole, are you disappointed? Or, I mean, this is amazing.
There's not a bun big enough in the world to fit this hamburger.
So do you know what that is?
This must be the hubcap burger you were talking about?
Right. So Cawthon's was originally in Scott, Arkansas, and they came out with these big hubcap burgers. And we went there as a kid. It was kind of like that drugstore dime type shop, and it burned down. So you have to come here now, and the Cawthon's in the city to eat it. And look at those onion rings.
Yeah, I mean,
People are walking by going, give me a
we're
ring.
supersizing.
Oh, you should stick it inside the burger.
All right, good
Okay,
advice.
you do that. Well, while you're playing with that, I'm going to talk about the fried green tomato. So this is what I think is iconic for Cawthon's. Amazing ranch. Here we go with my ranch.
We got the
Amazing
ranch going.
Do you want to try one of these first?
I
mean,
do.
these have to be breaded to perfection with a little bit of crunch. It is just so good.
Okay, that's yummy.
Then how about the ranch? You do like the ranch, don't you?
I like the ranch.
That's when
Oh, they're so greasy and good.
I just love the crunch on it. And I like that they're thinner tomatoes because you get just right taste of all of that.
Lots of salt. Yum.
All right, let's see you go in for that.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Stuff the onion ring inside of the burger.
Let's check this out.
Go Nicole,
Oh,
go
I know.
Nicole, go Nicole.
Like, lifting my weights.
I mean, look at that.
Look at that. There is just no way on this good
100
green earth that
I-
my mouth is going to go around that.
I believe you can do it.
Do you think I can?
You can do it.
Ah.
Try it. Oh yeah.
All right. I'm glad I went in.
Yeah, it's so good.
That
The-
is so
the
good.
cheese, it's good. I mean, the burger is big, but it's great. I mean, you could feed it definitely 2 people. That's a 2 people meal. And again, maybe not for your first date because it's a little sloppy, but right?
The hamburger patty is seasoned so delightfully.
Smothered steak or hamburger steak or a
Salisbury steak.
Salisbury steak, you could go for that. And I'm gonna do the chicken fried steak, thick and crunchy. Again, the breading here, I love it with this thick homemade white gravy. Look at that, yes sir.
I got caramelized onions.
My crunch
This
is
is
amazing.
delicious too. It really is comfort food.
Do you like the brown gravy or the white gravy on that?
I like them both equally, actually.
I love the white gravy on this. It seasons are really good. This is, you taste the salt, the flavoring all in it. I think I'm probably need to just eat green beans for a while, but I need some health food, right?
Health food that's fried.
Oh, you're at fried okra. That's the jam.
Oh, that's delicious
So
too.
remember, you're supposed to do this. Pick it up.
Oh yeah. All right. Sorry.
Do
I'm
you love
learning.
that? So that's the same breading that they have on the fried green tomatoes.
I like the fried green tomatoes better. Don't tell me this is cheese dip, is it?
No,
No?
that's honey mustard. So
Am I supposed to put my fry in there?
no, you're supposed to take this chicken and dip it. like
Lord
this.
have mercy. What would I do without you?
You'd probably be skinnier.
Okay,
Do you
and what are
like-
these?
So that is a corn fritter. Remember, I think you said you never had one because you didn't really know the difference between a hush puppy and a corn fritter. But that's like cream of corn in a battered. It's delicious, sweet.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's like candy.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, this food is outstanding.
A lot of places will only give you 1 or 2 of these, and you feel like you're just gypped when you leave.
I would not be going back. Who would do that? That's
mean,
cruel.
Mean people.
That's
so that
cruel.
is so good. That's good. And then they have jalapeno cornbread or rolls on all their plates. You have fries and vegetables. There's so much to eat here. I mean, definitely home cooking food, but
Heather, I can't thank you enough for taking me to all these yummy comfort food places. I mean,
We'll have to get on the treadmill when we leave here.
When do we start the bucket list workout?
Right? Oh, that's definitely coming soon. But you know, we saved the best for last, so we got to get dessert.
Oh, all right.
All right, Nicole, it's your favorite time. It's dessert time. Or wait, I think that's my favorite time. I think we should just eat dessert sometime, but you're going to make me eat them. But come on and bring this in. Okay, tell us what these are, what flavors.
We've got a chocolate and a peach fried pie for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoy.
Oh, it's all going in my tummy.
Thank you.
All right, so Nicole, you just pick these up, and you got to dip them in the cream. You got your own.
Girl,
You got to take a bite. You got to
you know
try.
what I like.
I know. I know what you like, girl.
You know what I like.
Oh.
Get to the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, come on now. Fried pudding pie. Good job.
What's in yours?
I don't know. Give it a shot.
Oh my goodness.
I did like the whipped cream. You know, it tastes like cool with a little of it.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
homemade.
look at how pretty that is.
That tastes like the best cobbler ever.
Nice.
If you had a scoop of ice cream on that, that would be perfection.
I'm going
Well-
back in for the fried green tomatoes.
Well, we're wrapping up Southern Comfort Food, thank goodness, because we're gonna go into January and talk about health food, some health smoothies. We're gonna do protein powders. And
We're gonna
have
eat
to,
air and
Right.
drink water.
for real, because we're gonna be hanging out here, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, Gotham. This segment was sponsored by AY Magazine. Now, you are going to love our topic and discussion activity with Charlie Simpson today. I promise you'll want to try it for your next date night. We'll be right back with Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Keeping a relationship fresh is one way to maintain longevity in your relationship. Constantly growing and learning, your partner never stops, and a necessity for a connection. Charlie Simpson with the Arkansas Relationship Counseling Center is here to provide tips on how to build the friendship within your relationship and keep it fresh.
Keeping it fresh.
Charlie, I loved this topic when I was thinking about what we could talk about, because I have a real appreciation for people who are in long-term relationships.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
sat with a couple at dinner a couple weeks ago, and they've been married for 50 plus years, and the twinkle in their eye is still as significant as it always was, but the
Yes.
comfortability between the two of them, you know, you just can't put a price on it.
You see their friendship, and their
Yes.
friendship is so strong, and that is what keeps you connected as you travel through time together. And you know, when you talk to couples that are seasoned, that have been together for 50 plus years, they will tell you, I am still learning my partner and growing and understanding new things. Things change. You know, one minute they wanted me to squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom, now I can squeeze it from the middle, or the toilet paper going one way, now it goes, and so it's just a lot of little things that change. And I was just talking to one couple, and they were married 50 plus years, and she cooked her husband some black-eyed peas, and she put them on his plate, and he looked at her like, I don't like black-eyed peas. She was like, when did that change? And so it's constantly growing and learning your partner. And it starts with just building love maps, is what we call it, really understanding your partner's internal world. And it just really starts with the game that you can play with each other, and that is just asking each other open-ended questions.
Nice.
And you can go to the internet to Google.
Well,
I have a set of cards, and you have
exactly.
questions.
My professional research led me to some, magazine type of internet feed. But I will say that I think sometimes a little bit of humor goes a long way. So
Right.
when did you stop liking black-eyed peas?
Exactly.
Well, you're going to eat them tonight. But these questions that I found, I thought were so much fun to do over drinks
Right.
with your date. date your
Exactly.
significant other, and not take it too seriously.
Right.
Okay?
You have
because
to make them fun.
these questions are not meant to be taken too seriously.
Right.
So let's go through the first
Here we
4 just
go.
for fun.
All
So
right.
one of them is, what type of scent do you like on a woman or a man? I just think that right away ignites the senses when you ask somebody a question like that.
Right.
And your partner has a chance to
Right.
kind of really reflect.
And you know what? If I asked my wife that question, I think I would fail that one because I have no idea. I would guess, but I'm clearly probably would be wrong. But that is a great question.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily have to be on your wife, too. That's what I'm saying, is that these questions can be open-ended, like you said, and it could just be in general, what type of scent.
Right.
All right, let's take a second question, and we'll skip to the next 4. What would you say, you say you have a type? Do I fit what you thought you were looking for? Again, another fascinating, imagine being in a long-term relationship with somebody, and all of a sudden you ask them, well, what's your type? Am I your type? Can you imagine the answer you might get?
My answer is always yes. You are my type.
Charlie, you're cheating. Now that's not right.
No, but you know, when you have a strong friendship, when you have an open conversation, you can share a lot of those things. And you know, it was one thing, hey, I liked your hair, you know, during this period, it changed. Didn't really like it at that point, but that is another fun, you know, question to
Perfect, exactly. Like my dad married my mom, she had dark hair, and at the end she had blonde hair. I mean, I can only imagine what he might say. Okay, so let's jump ahead. Let's say, oh, I love this one. What is the first thing you think when you see me? Oh, that makes my heart pitter patter. That'd be good after your second cocktail, because now the emotions are going, right? I want your homework to be you to ask your wife that,
you know
and her
what?
to ask
I want
it.
to take you up on that
Okay,
one.
Charlie.
I will. That is, and you
when
know,
the teacher becomes the student.
you never stop. You never. And I have a set of questions that I often use with couples, and so I've
All
been
right,
through
give me one off of your
Okay.
questions before we wrap it up. One
What
of them.
is your partner's favorite romantic movie?
Oh, this feels like the dating game. Do you know
Yes,
that? You know that old
yes.
dating game, and they hold the card up, and they get points.
And then you got to get points. But these,
All right.
it just can be something simple. You don't necessarily have to put a lot of time into this. You can go to the internet, Google fun questions for, you know, a relationship, and just print it out and use it at cocktails.
Well, friends at home, I really want you to watch this segment again, because Charlie and I really work hard to bring you some really fun, lighthearted ways of keeping it fresh
There you go.
in your relationship. Thanks
There
again
you
for being
go.
here.
No
We'll see you again next
problem.
week.
Sure will.
Now, we'll be right back after this. You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Don't forget about our gift drive with Hank's Toys, and really piling up until December 18th. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to follow us on social media and share with us what gives Arkansas its style. We will see you all again next time. With love. Mwah.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Style with Nicole Neiman, sponsored in part by Vantage Health Plan. Furniture provided by Hank's Fine Furniture.